was your last relationship?
My last real relationship
Yes.
or the last situationship?
Well, so how do you want to answer it?
My last real relationship wasn't. It was like 2012.
I'm reacting to another video by Kendra G, and this time, we have a 37-year-old woman who's come to the realization that she does want kids and a family. But is it too late? Let's get into the mess.
All right, Chanel, where you calling us from, boo?
California, Fresno.
Fresno. How old are you, love?
37.
37. And do you have any kids?
No, I don't have any kids.
No kids.
Already, we're off to a rocky start, especially if she's on this show because she wants to meet a guy to start a family with. While women can get pregnant all the way up to the age of like 45, it gets a lot harder once you hit your mid-30s. But that's not the only challenge. One of the biggest obstacles women have to overcome is finding the right guy to actually start building a family with. And when you're running out of time, it only adds to the pressure, maybe even leading women to make decisions they wouldn't have made otherwise.
What do you do for a living, boo?
I'm a nurse. I'm a public health nurse.
I can already hear the alarm bells going off as nurses don't have the best rep. As much like doctors, they're notorious for their cheating habits, and this post that someone posted up on Reddit summarized things perfectly. Anyone in any profession can cheat, but nurses and doctors are famously notorious for cheating, much like pilots and flight attendants are. Any job where you spend a crazy amount of time with your coworkers in a leader/subordinate type high stress, high risk, and sleep-deprived dynamic breeds infidelity like wildfire. The attraction and familiarity that's built in these collaborative environments can't compete with a partner because no matter how stable and loving that relationship is, it's hard to maintain a meaningful connection when you're physically at your job for most of your waking hours, bonding over emotional situations that have the capacity to spark attraction. This is also why many of these people choose to date within their own professions. It's hard to make time to date or meet anyone else, so it's easier to date someone who gets it. Musicians, restaurant staff, firefighters, and cruise ship workers fall into this same bucket. There are exceptions to every rule, but these statistics exist for a reason. It's unpopular and heartbreakingly common, and most of these types will either get someone to cover for their BS, or their paychecks are so good their partners turn a blind eye. People will deny, downvote, and chastise you for suspecting otherwise to protect their reputations, so most will never get caught. I feel like these jobs attract a certain type of personality to begin with, so that may also increase the likelihood of cheating. So yeah, do with that information what you will, but I think it's pretty spot on.
Public health nurse.
Yeah.
Have you ever been married?
No, never married.
Never married. All right, so we got Chanel Fresno, 37, no kids, public health nurse, never married. What kind of man you looking for, girl?
I'm looking for a man that's ready to commit, that's ready to have some children, a man that knows how to communicate, is emotionally available and emotionally secure. Somebody who just knows what he wants, ready to build, ready to have a partner, done playing games.
Honestly, I don't think her expectations are that wild. But why wait all the way to the age of 37 to stop playing games? I feel like the time for that is during your early to maybe mid-20s. But it seems like these days, people aren't thinking about their future selves and what might be most important to them in the long run.
Just well-rounded.
Okay, I'm gonna just put you on a game. Maybe you don't care, but your breast is showing. If you don't care, that's okay. There we go. I wasn't sure. Sometimes, girls,
The whole breast?
that be the play.
No, I'm sorry. They're big. They're always out.
Okay, what are your deal breakers?
Just immaturity. If you're 40 and you're still trying to play games, I'm not about that. If we can't define what this is after 3-4 months, I'm not trying to play these games.
I think at the age of 37, 3 to 4 months is a long time to figure out whether someone wants to get serious or not. And the reality is, if the guy she was messing with didn't want to get serious with her, but they'd spent the last 4 months hooking up, she's probably not going to be able to easily cut it off, meaning that she'll end up wasting even more time. The unfortunate reality for her is, even if she's messing around with a guy her age who doesn't have kids, he isn't running against the clock because he can have kids at any time. So for him, fooling around for a few months likely doesn't mean very much.
Okay. Should he make a certain amount of money?
He should be employed with the pension.
Woo!
That's all I gotta say about that. I mean, I'm not gonna put a number on it, but we can come together with our incomes. I'm not looking for somebody to take care of me, but if that's where the role that he wants to step into, I'm fine with that. But I'm not gonna eliminate you from the game if you don't make $100,000, $200,000 a year. I'm not gonna eliminate you. But I would like us to come together and build a life together, and it takes two incomes in this economy, so I'm not gonna be particular about that.
Okay, so you're saying he doesn't have to make a certain amount of money?
No, he just has to have a pension. He has to be good with his money, know how to budget
So what's the age range you want to date?
At least she's not the kind of woman who refuses to date men who are making below 6 figures. But people in the comments did take note of her whole wanting a man with a pension thing, saying things like, always after getting run through and then realizing that Pookies don't have retirement plans. Pookies plan to retire with her. Tired of working, looking for retirement plan. She's just here to secure a pension. So, what do you guys think about all that?
I would say maybe 35 to 45. I would love someone who wants to have kids. That's my big thing. I want to have kids. So I can even go a little bit older, but you have to be open to having kids.
Okay.
And this is the thing. If she meets a guy now, they'll probably have to really speed things up, especially if they want more than one kid. Rushing into starting a family with someone because you feel like you haven't got time can be a recipe for disaster. But that's what happens when you leave shit to the last minute.
You work in public health, right?
Yes, a nurse.
Did you say you'll date a guy with kids?
I will.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as there's no drama.
Okay.
I would prefer not to have multiple baby mamas, but if it was like one baby mama with like 2 kids, I'm fine with that. But if we get into like 3-4 kids with like 3-4 baby dad mamas, then no.
Okay. When was your last relationship?
My last real relationship?
Yes.
Or the last situationship?
Well, so how do you want to answer it?
My last real relationship it was like 2012.
2012?
But my last situationship was a year ago.
2012. So what the hell has she been doing all this time? Has she just been fucking around for the last 12 years, or has she been actively trying to find someone? 12 years ago, she would have been about 25. So what happened to make her put off finding a stable relationship for so long?
A year ago. Okay. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask, when's the last time you was intimate with someone?
Over the summer.
Over the summer. Okay.
Even though she doesn't have any kids, I wonder what kind of emotional baggage she'll be bringing into her next relationship, because anything and everything could have happened during those 12 years.
3 flaws you have to work on.
I would say my independence. I wouldn't say it's a flaw, but it definitely, I feel I need to let people help me more. So I need to work. It's a positive and it's a flaw at the same time. I would say my patience. I would have to work on my patience. I'm not very patient. I'm really quick to cut it off if it don't feel right. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
And why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
I'm a sweetheart. I always have your back. Like if you do me right, I could do you right. I will always have your back. I cook 3 meals a day, every day. You don't have to you can wine me and dine me, of course, but please know that when you come home from work, your dinner is taken care of, your breakfast is taken care of. Like that's the type of woman that I am.
Okay, well, I think I'm gonna end this one here because honestly, nothing else really gets said after this. All in all, she comes across as quite pleasant. It's just that she waited far too long to want to start building a life with someone. And while it's not too late for her, she's going to have to put everything into finding a man who wants the same thing she does. And hopefully, she doesn't waste more years in the process. Before I end the video though, I'll leave you with some of the thoughts that other netizens shared. Why look for this type of man now? Why not look for that man when you were younger? 37 years old. Typical after being in the streets and getting a high mileage racked up, but now she wants a good man and kids. My question is, what is he getting? All the trauma from many relationships, jump-offs, and so much I can mention. She didn't prioritize marriage and family in her prime years. Unfortunately, it's highly unlikely to happen now. Do you agree with any of these statements? Let me know your thoughts in the comments because I'm sure you guys will have a lot to say.